Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Saturday, December 30th. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Weekend that you are enjoying. Get your preparation and gear up toward the New Year or New Year's Eve celebrations. Be safe, be sound out there, and yeah, enjoy. All right, let's see what we got today. Wow, King of Cups, King of Wands. And I'm saying wow because the King of Wands was on the bottom of the deck before I cut it off camera. I turned it over. He was at the bottom. I turned it over. I cut it before I pressed record. And then, of course, you just saw me cut it just now. So that's why. That's the backstory of as to why I'm saying wow. Because he just really want to be seen right now. So the King of Wands is powerful, confident, bold, creative, ambitious, highly driven, protective, attractive, fiery. This is, of course, any fire elements, particularly Leo, but it could also be Aries or Sagittarius. Well, is that right? Yeah, because the kings are usually a bit more fixed, I believe. But again, it could be any of the fire signs for sure. So, not sure why we're starting there, but I am going to take him out. What's up, King of Wands? What you got to say on today? Let's see what we got. Oh. Okay. That was a whole heap of cards. We got the Hierophant. I know we're going to need some more space than that, right? The Hierophant. Broken society. That's what I just heard. Let's get a few more. I'm hearing a song playing somewhere around, like for real, a real song. I was just trying to hear what it was, but I can't hear it. I can't hear exactly what it is. Death card. Some strong cards. The Hierophant, the Death, with the Three of Swords wedged in the middle. Where are we going with this? And clearly the King of Wands has something to say or that needs to be seen. Okay, we want to stop at the Death right now? Okay. All right, Hierophant, the Three of Swords. This is like society, structure, order. But this is like trauma, toxicity. Could be one that compels healing or that has either been healed from or has the potential to be healed from. But it feels like an affliction. Affliction. imposed by society or by some, because this could be society as a structure and order of life, you know, or it could be an order of like an organization of sorts of men, let's say, like not necessarily men as in masculine, but humans organized in a particular form. And with this affliction, oh shit, hold up. Okay, now I need to know what's on the other side of the death, because this is giving me that some hands are unclean in regards to the affliction of a demise against someone, particularly death, in perhaps a very literal sense, like sacrifice is what I'm feeling. What's on the other side of this death card? Sacrifice. Either having already carried out the deed, or there being, with the Three of Swords, that gives that it's something that has already happened. Or at least maybe it's a decision or a covenant that's already been made against some target or soul of sorts. Ugh, who asked for this? My goodness. It's okay. What's after the, okay. The Four of Pentacles, but somebody is holding on to dear life? So maybe there was an attempt. Ooh. Maybe there was an attempt, attempted MURDER, for purposes of sacrifice on account of some covenant. Ooh. But somebody either is holding on to dear life, or did hold on to dear life, hence why there's still vitality here with the Four of Pentacles. Somebody is holding on to something, and I'm getting the sense that it's like a material existence. Wow, interesting. I'm not going to take that, but wow, look at this. The Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. Some great betrayal. This could even be me right now seeing this betrayal, is what I'm picking up with the Queen of Cups. Like intuitively picking up this incident, and maybe if it by chance hasn't happened yet, this being a warning, or just being clarity of the ending as it was intended to be, or what the intention may be, because who's to say that that was, let's say, truth with the Queen of Swords and the Chariot. I was just about to say, who's to say that, oh my God. I was just about to say, who's to say that that was the last attempt? And here is the Knight of Swords under the Death card. So that wasn't, put it this way, maybe perhaps this revelation can help to halt with the Chariot card whatever the intended covenant may be, or the intention for the what's the right word? Not aggression, but well, that's what I'm picking up from the Knight of Swords, but the attempt of assault. That's what it is. The attempt of assault. Because the Chariot is definitely giving cop vibes right now, but the Queen of Swords came first. That there's some clarity that's being transmitted even right here, right now, or has been, in some way, shape, or form. But definitely that I'm picking on something that is being revealed or has been revealed to the proper authorities, perhaps, that would stop this engagement or stop the perpetuation of this attempted assault. Meaning if it has happened once and maybe kind of fallen short, or maybe it didn't happen, I don't know. But the reason why I'm saying it has happened is because the Three of Swords is usually a past energy for the most part. Death has already moved beyond that, and then the Hangman coming to almost solidify that fate. But somebody is not dead. That's the thing. Whatever this, if it was already attempted, they're not dead, or they're hanging on by a thread, and there is in the works, or would have been intended to be, another attempt, because the life of this person satisfies some order or covenant. Wow, look at this. Ooh. Oh my God, that literally just took my breath away. Oh, hell. Oh, yeah. But I would say still, I mean, I don't know, how can I read this? Because it's an intense, I have chills. It's an intense aggression for somebody's head on a platter. Like, all hands on deck by any means necessary, literally, with the Five of Swords. Still kill, destroy the intended target, leave no evidence type of eyes with the Seven of Swords. Recklessly and ruthlessly, no grace, nothing spared is the energy here. So much so that if it were to make contact, it's like if it failed before, it wouldn't be the intention for it to fail this time. That's the motivation. That's the spirit. But again, as I say, the Chariot is here. The Chariot is literally the saving grace, because it's the presence of authority and exposure, and it seems to be the only thing kind of in the way of this ambush. Well, dare I not say in the way? By all means, be in the way, but I guess, I don't know, because given the Hierophant is here, that there's some group or covenant that feels justified, that's like a judge, and it's street justice, no doubt. It's definitely, but it's also with the twang of spiritual, at least spiritual audacity. Even it's influenced from a spiritual nature, though, too, with the Hierophant. Like, maybe that's perhaps where the sacrifice comes in, because somebody or some people feel like they can't move forward in the high society that they submit to or are creative in or of, or I don't know, whatever the hell this community is, but they feel like they can't move on to business as usual for them unless they get rid of a certain energy. Huh. Mm. Well, the intentions are the tension and the intentions are monstrous. They are. However, the warning was that whatever if it was supposed to be carried out, it would have been, is what I'm feeling. If it was truly justified for, especially in this season, to even come back, like swing, circle the block. What we say, like not circle the block, spin the block. Yeah, this is a spin the block situation. Like, oh, we didn't get everything we need. We didn't get everything or everybody that was intended. Targets were missed. We got to go back again. And it's like, but this time, though, it's going to be energy here, like literally a blue shield that you don't really want to get into an entanglement with. Look at this. Yeah, protecting. And honestly, this is interesting. Thank you for the warning, King of Wands. This is against a feminine energy. For the purposes of suppressing their vision, their communication. Oh my God, I feel this like I have to say this, like this is an attempt on my life. An attempt to silence me and to keep me from speaking, because there is a great deal of negative impact that things that I say make that aren't favorable for people in high places or that have a certain agenda to uphold. I never felt that strong, like, urge to speak about myself in a reading ever, but I know that that's what this is, because I was seeing the target as a masculine energy more so, which we know, well, it depends on how you read tarot. Sometimes it is very much so masculine and feminine. It's not, for purposefully. But sometimes it's just the inflection of that energetic force, like it being in a masculine vibration or in a feminine vibration. So I was really seeing this very, very definitively, specifically. But now I see with the Queen of Wands, a Queen of Swords here, and the Eight of Swords, somebody wants to put me, maybe even you too, I'm sure you can relate to this as well, but I'm going to have to speak the way that I feel guided to in this moment. So let it resonate as it will. But somebody wants to keep me from talking and also keep me from seeing the things that I see in the spirit that compel me to communicate the way that I do. Because not only is it a detriment to the agenda of those that want to keep, this activity of death and isolation and sacrifice in the realm, even on a universal level, like a much grander perspective than it necessarily is intimate, but perhaps being played out from intimate characters for sure. But it's inciting too much healing, because something about me that I'm realizing, to be completely transparent, is that it doesn't matter how many people watch my videos. It doesn't matter how many subscribers I have. It doesn't even really matter that I say what I say out loud on this platform. If I think it, if I envision it, if I imagine it to be so and to be true, it is. So it's just like the receipts that come with the Queen of Swords is just like an extra slap in the face for those that thought they had me down and bound once upon a time by many tactics, particularly in the last year and some years before that. Like, see all of this aggression here? Yeah, all of that continuously over and over again. And in some ways it has been effective to subdue me in different positions where I was more focused on other things, or my progression has been set back so that I had to focus more on stability in a very material sense and less on spiritual expression and, expelling energy in a certain type of way. But what was never calculated for truly is that even when I wasn't saying it, I was seeing it. And that's what makes the difference between me and many others, particularly those that want to end me. It's just that the fact that I'm so pronounced in this season, and the elements and the transits and things have changed in spirit and in truth, that the glamour magic that has worked to discredit me, even in my material existence, to make me seem crazy or to make me seem delusional or like I don't know what I'm talking about, or to project certain untruths to me and about me to others to make me, so that the things that I do say are automatically discarded, and then that projects to me that maybe I should discard myself because hell, nobody's listening anyway. Like, it's all been a game that I was supposed to lose by now. But it's not, it's rigged for me to win, is what's not being relented to at this point. I will not lose. And it's only because I'm living in my own integrity. I'm not living to attack anyone else. I'm not living to even expose anything or anyone else. Half the time, y'all know that most of the time I sit here and I'm giving readings and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I just know that it comes from somewhere. And I share as I literally feel guided to do so. From the heart. From my soul, which has always been protected. That's an intangible place and space that could never truly be infiltrated in the way that would have made the sacrifice complete, because I would have needed to sell my soul or to surrender my soul for some superficial cause, and it's never going to happen. It never has, in case anybody was wondering out there. And it never will. You gotta know by now that my protection is not even as like missed poor investments at this point in time. My protection is not just from a natural sense, such as the Chariot card, which for sure, law enforcement, powers that be, truthfully, officially, because there's been corruption in that space as well. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for watching over, for doing justice in the realm, not just for me, but for all. Thank you for setting things straight and making things fair and balanced in ways that I just, in that regard, don't have jurisdiction to do so, or don't have access, I would say, to do so in the 3D. You are appreciated, and you will be rewarded, blessed even accordingly. Beyond me, but certainly by me, even in this moment. I bless you for your service to mankind. Poor investments. This is the persistence, the aggravated assault over and over again. And it's, like I said, it's been of a spiritual projection, mystically projecting certain energies and concocting certain mysticisms, i.e. black magic. And that's why I said it's like a spiritual nature here with the Hierophant too. It's just not as simple as a couple of men gathered for some business purposes or practices. It's spiritual practices that are fueling their endeavors that are faltering at this point in time, because not because of me per se, it's because the law of the land, the spiritual law of the land, demands justice and judgment now. Real judgment, real justice. Everything must be balanced and equal and fair, which is why these attempts are falling short and have fallen short, because it's not in alignment, it's not in accordance with what is the greatest good of all. It yields no fruit, as you can see here with the Seven of Pentacles. There's nothing vital or productive to come of this energy. There never really was, because even what has come as I'm sure is being experienced now has been fleeting. Yeah, these are the I feel like these are the lower vibrational contracts, let me say. Yep, that led to nothing but dead ends, PTSD that seemed right at the time, but eventually turned on themselves, you know, going from allies to adversaries, right up under the Five of Swords, because it's like people had an invested interest, certainly materially fueled at this point in time, to suppress energies like me and others. Of course, I'm not just speaking about myself. If you resonate with this, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you can relate based on the opposition and the forces against your natural evolution that you can speak to and maybe even have receipts for at this point in time, or maybe don't, but maybe that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, so that you know you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not delusional. You didn't make it up. And even with all of that being true, you are protected. All as long as you're staying aligned with your own integrity, healing in your own right, or being devoted to your own healing and your own destiny. Ultimately, you're protected. This is the fruit of the divine. It's the substance for now and for the future. Everything else is like rotten. No nutritional value whatsoever for the spirit or the body. So these are the failed partnerships and contracts that have, I just get the sense that they were fraudulent from the gate. You know, there's an appearance of there being a balance and fairness, but it's like, I feel like people are reading the fine print of what they have signed up for now that the return on the goods is not quite measuring up to what it was supposed to be. And it's not looking good for that to happen at this point. So people are really going back to that contract, back to those, considering now, like, shoot, well, what happens if and when it's not fulfilled? Well, it's the Five of Swords. You stand defeated by the energy that you've expelled with the Seven of Swords. That's what happens. You become the sacrifice. You sacrificed yourself, as a matter of fact. That was the fine print. That was the exchange rate. It was never going to be me. And this is representative of the misguidance of the contract, because it was fraudulent, for there to be a belief that it was ever going to be me. Even in the worst of times, or when things looked like dire straits, it was never going to be me, because I was never going to fall on my own sword. And I was never going to offer my devotion to anyone or anything or anywhere else but to the divine. And that's still true. This is what you wanted, power. And when you got it, you manipulated it. When you got even a taste of it, a semblance of it, the illusion of it is what it ultimately was here with the Seven of Swords, and you held on to it for dear life and didn't know how to act. But ultimately you abused it. And now this is the force to be reckoned with in the realm, to show all what true power really looks like, feels like. This is the spiritual smackdown right here with the Ace of Wands. To actually experience the energy that you wielded unjustifiably, without jurisdiction, and it's almost like a wish, come true to some degree. That's what I'm getting with the Ace of Wands. It's like, this is what you wanted, and you're going to get to see it, how that wield of power and dominance really looks. But except that it's not going to be on the intended target or targets. You're going to see firsthand how powerful that force really is. It's like playing with matches. Now you're going to get to see the blaze. Like fireworks. Meanwhile, back on the ranch, the value of me is still just as secure and safe as it always was, because it was never outside of me. It didn't matter how much money I had. And it still doesn't. It doesn't matter where I live, what I drive, or what I don't, for that matter. It didn't matter what position of power or prestige or what clout I may have, how recognizable I am to society, i.e. celebrity. That's not where the value of a high-valued woman rests, or relies, or is measured by. The words of dear Dr. Maya never rung so true for myself and for women just alike. I'm a woman, phenomenally. Phenomenal woman. Yeah, that's me. Something like that. Ooh, I'm gonna post that poem because it speaks to the mystery of the power of a woman who knows she is powerful. And it took me a long time to know, because I didn't really have the support and the help in that regard. I had the opposite, to be oppressed and depressed in such a way that the value of me in some ways did amount to simply what was between my thighs at one point in time. As the poem speaks. Conditioned to believe that that was the lot of me, which is damn precious too. Now, don't get it twisted. Gold mines. But it really truly was my mind all along, and my spirit, which was the wealth, which was the source of my wealth, how I love, my willingness, my ambition, my audacity to love beyond my limit. Certainly to love beyond what was reciprocated. That was supposed to be the inspiration for any onlookers or agitators to find value in that truth and aspire to have it for themselves, by themselves, not to strip me of it, not to take it away from me and hoard it for self, keep it locked up in some coveted chamber of sorts, to pervert it, to abuse it, to manipulate it, to ravage it at every turn, in spirit or truth and truth. It was a gift for all. And it still is, to all that are willing to receive it and reciprocate it. Surprise! That was the secret all along. That what you felt you needed to steal and hoard for yourself was freely given. It was never concealed or withheld, really. But greed is what ultimately spoiled that exchange. It wasn't to be possessed by anyone but the divine, of course, but even with that, it was for the it was always for the purposes of sharing, always oversharing to some degree. But thankfully, what I can say for sure, for me personally, and I pray for you, is that everything that I've experienced in the subconscious and in the conscious of my creativity has exalted me to a place of the highest value. I now know and understand that I can still be just as much of a gift as I can expect to be gifted. And that there is no harm or foul in that exchange when it's pure. And if there's anything that I have to be grateful for, is that the ambitions of these aggressions helped illuminate that truth to me, totally enlighten me from the inside out to exactly what I've been carrying all along. And that there's so much more to discover, really and truly, that I've only just begun, quite honestly. But now seeing it with eyes wide open, all three of them. First, second, and third, wide open, to fully embrace the totality of myself. And to appreciate that ethereal essence in this physical expression. Couldn't have done it without you. That's the best credit I can give at this point. And now I'll absolutely will do it without you. So, thank you. And if this wasn't clear enough, it's time to move on now. For all. Only forward movement from here on out. We're not going back. There are no do-overs in this low vibrational frequency. The invitation is to evolve now with universal ordinance as it's been called for, commanded at this point in time. The only options are to transform or transition. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.